Okay. All right, let's go. let's go. So, the uh the virus that has had Donna sick all week, I finally got it. Finally got it. Woke up this morning, throat is on absolute fire. No headache. No headache. So that's okay. But like I got ear infections, my eyes are all goopy, and my throat is on fire. But I am here because that's what we do. We show up. What the hell else am I going to do? Sit in my chair and feel like shit. So, speaking of feeling like shit, if you'd like to feel really bad, look at the standings. Okay. If you really, really are interested in ruining your day, um, we are yet again tied for, but in last place in the division. And Capitals and Jackets have passed us now. Jackets have won 5 straight. The Sabres did end up losing again. So we're at 59 points. The Senators are at 59 points. The Maple Leafs, who, what a difference. That is such a juxtaposition between myself and Dangle, where our teams have the same number of points. We have a game in hand. Our teams have the same number of points. Dangle wants to tear his team down and rebuild from the studs. And I still say we're going to make the playoffs. Now, of course, I got 2 cups to draw from experience-wise that will give me that confidence. But how's the chat doing? Hey, Real. I can't wait to see I can't wait to play the Jets today. I had a horrible nightmare last night that the whole team was hurt and we only scored 1 goal. Yeah. It's like Groundhog Day around here. Which, by the way, thank you for bringing that up, Real. I did the math, and I know it's not exactly rocket science. If you score less goals, you win. You win fewer games. And the 26 losses that we have this season, we have scored a grand total of 49 goals. In the 26 losses, we have scored a grand total of 29 goals. And in fact, let's see how many times we've only scored 1 goal. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. We're going to count the shutout that the Sabres got to us. That's 3. Let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 times we've scored 1 or fewer goals, which is about a quarter of the games, basically. So about 25% of the time, about 25% of the time we're only scoring 1 goal. Hey, Hungry. Well, you're fitting to get a vacation. We got 3 games. We play Monday. For some reason, I thought we didn't play till Tuesday. Because I know Maurice yesterday was saying, he said somehow he's got to find a way to get these guys some rest. Tell them they can't go to Italy. That's the best we can do. Hey, Bex, Jason. Oh, no, not you too, Jason. Yeah, the standings show how we all feel, right? Jason, we show up, the team hasn't. I mean, I think I don't know. I don't necessarily, I know it looks like there's a lack of effort sometimes. Um, but I just feel like these guys are just so gassed. Just so gassed. You can just see it. Hey, Colin. Yeah, it was a hard loss. I know. Bob almost miraculously saved that last goal. But I mean, we were halfway through the second period, and I was like, man, we need a goal. We need a goal. We need a goal. It's like anybody who's watched hockey at all could see what was fixing to happen. And by the way, I know I didn't mention this in the recap because I forgot, but am I the only one? I know I'm not the only one. A few minutes before Winnipeg scored to tie the game, Goldie made mention, we're streaming, so we don't hear a lot, but Goldie said something to the effect of how the Panthers were shutting them down in a close game late like we have for years. And then Wakata, they immediately scored and tied the games. Oh, man. So, yeah. Beck says, thoughts on Bennett's inconsistency. I know we're down a ton of people, but him being an 8x8 center, we need to be able to rely on him more. Then again, we all know what we're paying him for. Yeah, I mean, look, up until when Kachuk came back, you could use that. Who do you have yesterday, Verhage? I mean, Bennett hasn't been physical at all. There's no doubt. But I mean, we went to 3 straight finals. Pretty much everybody from the outside kind of expected this, I guess, at some point, Anthony, in terms of Friedman saying that the Panthers are favored to get the bread man, I don't believe anything that anybody says about the Panthers. We can't afford him unless we send salary the other way. I don't take any, and that's not what I've read anyway. When I've read things, it's kind of felt more like the Capitals might be a likely team there, or a couple of other teams. I actually, honestly, with the things I've read, have pretty much mentioned Florida as like a dark horse. IDK says, at least we won't be stressed during April. There's a lack of effort and urgency. Or is there? We may be getting the best that we can get out of these guys right now. You know what I mean? Like this, they just may be that gassed. Yeah, exactly, Bex. Hungry says, is all I know is whatever ends up happening this season, they all better show up with a chip on their shoulder the size of Rhode Island next year. Yeah, Bex, you heard that too? Yep. I know, Goldie. Goldie's the worst one. I love those guys. Don't take it the wrong way. I don't want anybody to clip that, but it's like me with bitching about a guy. And when I complain about a guy, except for Sam Miskevich, he almost immediately scores. Oh, they were singing the halfway. I can't stand that stupid thing. Ugh. Great White says, Jaws, I've noticed the games Bob gives up for only 1 or 2 goals. We still can't score 3 to 4 goals to win. Yeah. I mentioned that last night. I think I talked about that in the video I did. A lot of those, when I reviewed all the games, all the goals that Bob gave up, a lot of the time, 4 goals on 17 shots Bob gave up. But what was the final score? 4-1, 5-1, 4-2. Like, we're not scoring enough. I'm not sure about that, Bex. Have they ever been fired due to jinxing a team? Craig says, Chucky not getting the surgery a week after the season is part, and the Goldie curse strikes again, and Benny can't be physically active with so many guys out. I mean, you just get to a point where it's just like, like I said last night, forget everything else. Forget everything else. We're desperate for a goal. There's 3:45 left. It's an offensive zone draw, and it was Schwint with Vilmanis and Greer. Like, what would we expect? You would not expect to win that game, right? Vincent says, have they even closed the game this year? That game that I was expect, I think there's one. Was it this year? Did we close out a game against Edmonton? I think there was one, Vincent. I think it was, no, that was a shootout against the Jets. We did close out the game against the Avalanche 2-1. Was there an Edmonton game that we won this year, or was that last year? We did shut out the Devils on November 20th, 1-0. That's 2. I thought maybe there was an Oilers game, but I guess not. So yeah, I mean, maybe 2 or 3 that we've actually shut them down and finished out in regulation. Honestly, I'm looking at this now, 1-goal games. I mean, we beat the Sens 3-2. We beat the Avs 2-1. Not by much. Not much, man. Not much. It's a good point. Oh, hold on. What we got? Hey, thank you, Great White. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, bud. Much appreciated, buddy. He says, Jaws, even the rats are jumping the ship now. I'm not there yet. Thank you, Great White. I appreciate you, bud. I apologize for the hoarseness in my voice. I finally caught what Donna has, so I'm here, but I don't know how long my voice is going to hold out. My throat's on fire. I'm not at the point where I'm ready to give up. I was going to say willing and ready, but I said ready. I'm not giving up yet. We still have 3 games before the break, and even though all of the things that we see that are wrong with this team are viable, it still would kind of be very Panther-like to lose to the Blues and Jets and then beat Buffalo, Boston, and Tampa. Now, granted, if we lose those 3 games, like you can't go into the break 10 down and be realistic. If we can go into the break 6 back of Boston with 2 games in hand, you can at least paint a picture that it's possible. But if we get any further behind, it's just too much. Hey, Bucks, how you doing, bud? Yeah, real. It wasn't. Bucks, I don't think so. When I'm done here, he's asking if we're streaming the Stadium Series. I got to see how I feel later. Right now, my throat's on fire. Don is actually at the store getting me some good. I got ice cream coming. I got some Coke coming. What else I got? I got a whole sugar intravenous coming. So if I feel better, I might just do something on the men's channel tonight, a little bit more low key, because Don is at work. So I want to feel good enough to stream at some point tonight, but I don't want to guarantee it just yet. And I got to see if Kyle wants to do it too. I'm trying not to work Kyle too hard right now, because with the weather, he can't really get outside and get himself feeling good. So I'm trying not to work him too hard right now, because he gets a little bit what's the word? Cooped up. You know what I mean? So he's okay, but I don't want to push him too hard right now. Why don't I belittle Vilnius so he's cool? He can score them all. He's so cool. He can't score them all. He hasn't done anything for me to complain about, Vincent. Vilnius hasn't done anything for me to complain about. Beck says, yesterday I said this was the must-win game, and I meant it. But I'm still here hanging on to dear copium, thinking we have a chance. It's a good thing I don't gamble. Well, the fact that Buffalo lost, and it's a shame every time the other teams lose, right? Buffalo lost. What was the other game? Was it the Flyers losing? But of course, the Jackets have won 5 straight, and now they've passed us as well. Real says, everyone needs to score 2 goals a game like my son Tobias Bornfoot, right? Great White says, all we need is a 3-game winning streak to get back on track. Do I agree? These specific 3 games, yes. It's an if. It's a massive if. But if we can beat in regulation Buffalo, Boston, and Tampa, the worst we're going to do is go into the break at 6 points down with 2 games in hand. Whether or not we can do that or not, you'd like to hope that we could get Lundell back. The Trey. Unless we're trading Mackey for McDavid right now, I don't think it would even be worth doing it anyway. Yeah, the division games are huge. Hey, Henderson says Detroit has lost 3 in a row. Am I jumping the gun, or are they finally different this year? Are they going to do the thing again? It's a fair question because, wow, the Sabres, I was looking at goal differential. The Sabres goal differential is plus 21. The Wings are at a 0. They're even on their goal differential. Let me see. They lost to the Caps, the Kings, and the Avalanche. They got to play the Avalanche again tomorrow. That's wild. So, looking at the Wings schedule, they do have, especially coming back from the Olympic break. Yeah, it's possible. God, all these games against all these teams that we're chasing, and they just, the Red Wings' last game of the year is against, the Red Wings finished the season against the Lightning and then Florida. Vincent says, can we actually evaporate Ekblad? It's over. You can't hide him with Forsling anymore. Poor dude. I thought he had started off the season, pretty decent. I was trying a new tactic with him to see if that helped. It didn't. Hey, Patel. Hockey guy, power rankings. Florida is 19. He's finally thinking they may not be in the playoffs. We've got to get healthy. If we can come back from the break healthy, right? If Marchand, Lundell, and Jones are back after the break, sometimes we forget we're already still playing without Jones. It's just incredible. But if we can come back from the break healthy at only 6 points out with 2 games in hand, I think it's possible. I don't know if I want to say likely, but I already guaranteed we were making it, so I'm on the hook for that. Vincent says, you new young players make them look stupid every night. Patel says, tomorrow is February 2nd. You know what day that is? ? And Vincent says it's Mackie Samoskevich trade day. Stop it. Stop it. You guys working in cahoots? Hey, Bucks, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you, bud. He says, I think Tampa sends the Goons to the Panthers. It's possible. It's very possible. Tampa's got nothing to worry about losing that game, really. Thank you, Bucks. I appreciate you, bud. Trey said, the Avs keep slumping and fumble the President's Trophy to Tampa. We get the 8 seed President's Trophy curse wins again. I like it. IDK. IDK, you might finally be right. Right? Anderson. Hey, David. Hey, thank you, Great White. Thank you, buddy. Much appreciated, bud. Thank you, man. He says, Jaws, we need a Boston loss tonight, right? Right. In regulation. So we have to root for the Lightning. It is what it is. But no, definitely, you definitely need a Boston loss tonight. Who else does Boston play the rest of the way here? So they play the Lightning, then they play us. Then they've got the Jackets and the Flyers. So you see, this is where things get hanky. Because after we play Boston, let's say we beat them, you would like the Bruins to lose the next game. The only problem is they play the Jackets, who are now also ahead of us. And then they finish the break against the Flyers, who are behind us, but by a point. Jeez. Ridiculous. Bill says, I heard Jaws say he wants to trade Mackey in a first for the bread man. No. What was the answer to the question, Patel? What was the answer to the question to February 2nd? Vincent says if Barkov isn't back right after the break, they won't make it. I mean, do you really? I mean, I know we play around, but Vincent, do you really think that they would risk doing that? Like, or do you actually genuinely, like in real life, think that they would do that? David says, if the temps don't start climbing, I might not make it. Van says, I've seen bigger comebacks, and I'm not counting Florida out yet, but I will point out the Cup will still be here in 2027. Yep, sometimes scratching a year needs to happen. Hey, Eyes, thank you, bud. Thank you, buddy. Much appreciated. He says, maybe we should have taken it as a sign that this wasn't going to be our year with the Barkov injury. On the more positive side, more time for him to heal. Vincent says he's coming back after the break. David says, I'm working inside wearing pants. Oh, man, I'm sorry. Oh, is it Groundhog Day tomorrow, Patel? Jeez. I didn't realize that. Well, I know what that son of a bitch going to say anyway, because in our forecast, we don't get over freezing by more than a degree until 2 days before we leave for Florida. Ugh. Colin says, for the back-to-back games, which game does Tarasov start? You think it's the Bolts game? I agree with you. Yeah, I agree. Henderson, it actually snowed there yesterday. Hey, Bucks. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Bucks. Appreciate you, man. If your Panthers don't play starters on Thursday, if they're going to bring the Goons, right? I mean, I don't know how much of a choice we have. I don't know what Maurice was thinking yesterday during the post-game interview. He was saying, I got to get these guys some rest somehow. And then he also said something else. He said, I got to get them away from me. I found that really interesting. Vince's jaws totally turned on Mackey. I didn't turn on. How did I turn on? Mackey is making it hard to defend him. He really is. I don't want him traded, but if they sent him back to the AHL to get his confidence back, I wouldn't complain about that either right now. Jelly says, this is exactly why you can't lose games like Utah, Winnipeg, St. Louis, or not even get some points. There's too many teams around us that are not completely out of it. It's a really good point, Jelly, because earlier in the season, we were complaining about missed overtime points. And like these last two games, to get no points out of those, that's literally the difference between, like, if we would have just lost those games in overtime, we'd only be 6 points out with 2 games in hand. And it just makes a not just the mathematical difference, but in terms of these guys, how they feel emotionally about the possibilities, it would make a difference in their confidence. Losing points like we have these last 2 games where you just don't even get anything, it's got to be very disheartening for the guys on the ice. Real says, if Tampa and Boston players both get frozen tonight, we can have one of their playoff spots. There you go. Mike, he says 4 to 5 months off couldn't hurt, to be honest. Forsling, Reinhart, Verhaeghe, etc. being run into the ground. Yeah, no disagreement there whatsoever, man. None at all. Vincent says, yes, if Barkov isn't back after the break, there won't be a reason to come back till October. Well, I get what you're saying. But that would mean we would have to, we would have to trade guys at that point. Like, is that even worth it? You'd have to trade Rodriguez to fit him on the roster. Jay Torch says, if Florida loses 1 to 2 more games for the break, Maurice should sit Reinhart and Verhaeghe. That's something I was thinking about yesterday. Like, if we get to the break and we're 10, 12 points out, like, just start sitting guys to give them rest. Like, just don't even bother. Real says, if the groundhog sees its shadow, does Mackey not score for another 6 weeks? Oh, man, poor kid. It's going to be in the 30s again, David. We're 22 right now. We're balmy. But, of course, we got like 20-mile-an-hour winds. Henderson says, serious question. I know it's not what anyone wants to think about, but given the standings being what they are, at what point does Florida consider shutting down Barkov and thinking long-term? Yeah, like I said, if we hit the break 10, 12 points out, at that point, maybe it's just time to pack it in. Now, you're going to have a hard time convincing guys like Tkachuk to pack it in. You know what I mean? But good God, get Forsling some rest, Reinhart some rest, Bennett, Verhaeghe. I wish they weren't going to the Olympics, but you know what they say about wishing in one hand. Dave says, hopefully and probably the team is letting doctors decide on Sasha's availability. Yeah. Hey, Colin. Right now, I don't know if we're streaming that or not. I caught this virus that Donna's had, so my throat's on fire right now. So I'm going to rest this afternoon and then get with Kyle. If I don't stream the Bolts game, as long as I'm feeling as good as I do now, I'll do something on the men's channel. Also, I'll be live one way or another tonight. I'm just not so sure if it's going to be the hockey game because I got to talk Junior into it. I mean, I guess I could go live by myself in here for during the hockey game. We could do that too. I just haven't decided yet because my throat's on fire. So I'm hoping this afternoon I can get some rest and feel better. It took me long enough to catch the damn virus that she's had. Now she's feeling okay, and I got it. Patel says the lows all week down here in the 40s and below. I've never experienced that in your 44 years of living in Coral Springs. So when I went through basic training, we got off the plane at like 3 a.m. in Texas in January, and we're standing out there on the tarmac. And before the bus came to pick us up, and it's in the 20s, so you can see your breath, right? Well, there was this kid from Hawaii who had never been off the island. He grew up in Hawaii. He joined the military. He'd never been anywhere. This was his first time on a plane, the whole thing. And when he started seeing his breath standing outside on the tarmac, he starts panicking and freaking out. He's like, what's wrong with me? What is wrong? Am I going to die? Is it blood? Like, he totally was freaking out. And it was the most surreal beginning to the basic training, because usually the TIs come up to you and they're busting your balls and everything is, everything is high stress and there's no play there at all. But before the TIs could even get started, this kid's just like losing his mind, and everybody was rolling laughing. The trainees and the instructors, like, everybody broke character. And I remember that so much, not for just what happened, but it was like after everybody was done laughing, I remember the TIs being like, all right, guys, now we got to get serious. And then they clapped back into character and started giving us shit. It was a hysterical. Poor kid. He was just this little guy. He had to be like maybe 5'2", and he was just freaking out. Hey, Rick says if the Panthers do not make it to the Cup, we'll be up for grabs. I suspect if the Panthers don't make it, the Lightning should be winning the conference, in my opinion. Mike says Mackey is a young player. He needs time. Bright side is we can keep him on a dog crap cheap contract. We need to get younger. 1,000% agree. I have no interest in. There's no reason to trade him. I mean, hell, he's waivers exempt. Like I said, you could put him down to the AHL. He's an RFA, exactly. There's no reason to move him unless he was going to be part of a deal that was going to bring in somebody that was really going to make a difference next year. Forget about this year. Yeah, Great White says, I love the Panthers, but we need a Bolts win, and it's killing you. Yep. Buck says, if the Panthers miss the playoffs, root for Tampa in the playoffs. That's going to be a hard one. Like, I feel torn about that because I know there's a lot of Lightning fans on this channel. But then I also know the Lightning fans on social media have been pretty rude to the Panthers. So, I mean, would I like to see the Cup stay in Florida to piss off the other teams? Sure. So we'll see. I mean, if the Panthers don't make the playoffs, Kyle and I are still doing everything that we do. We're still going to stream the same amount. I'll still do recaps. I'll still be here at noon. Nothing's going to change. It just won't be Panther stuff. Hey, Rosado. Yeah, Kyle was telling me about that. Today's the last day of Dinosaur at Disney's Animal Kingdom. That was a fun ride, man. I love that ride. IDK says Mackey will start scoring when the season's already over. I wonder if we don't make the playoffs, if they'll send Mackey to the AHL to play in the Calder Cup playoffs with those guys. Yeah, Trey. Yeah, Dinosaur was a good ride. Rosal, yeah, I see the people trying to trade Sam Miskevich for Panarin. Good thing we have a good GM, right? Good thing we have a good GM. And you know what I also, I've said this before, I always find it interesting. The people that want to trade Sam Miskevich because they think he sucks, they also say he's the main piece in any deal for players that they consider to be really good. And so my question would be is if you think he sucks so bad, why do you think the Rangers would give us Panarin for Samoskevich? Trey, I'm not sure about that. Kyle knows. Vincent says, I'm going to paint it this way. If the Panthers miss the playoffs, next year there will be roster changes anyway, noticeable, but excluding the whole Bob situation. I do start to wonder because we can't afford it. We absolutely can afford to have Marchand on the fourth line. And we already, and so what about a fourth line of Schwint with Marchand and Gadjevich, or Schwint with Marchand and Vilmanis or Greer? The point I'm making is that maybe he's getting to a point where age-wise, with the style that he plays, it's, he's not out there wasting minutes. He goes a million miles an hour. Like maybe now, starting next year, you give him some less minutes, right? So that he's got a little bit of juice for the important parts of the game. You know what I mean? You're down a goal late, you can pop him in. You know what I mean? But maybe limiting his minutes to maybe more like 12 instead of whatever he's been playing. I mean, that's one move that I think at some point would need to happen. Kazuma says, let's say by some miracle we do make it and Barkov does come back. Does that mean some guys missed the playoffs like Rodriguez? Yeah. Kazuma, there's a video I did on this channel about a month ago that goes over all of that in terms of the salary implications during the playoffs if Barkov comes back. When we are fully healthy, you cannot have Rodriguez on the ice and be cap compliant. And it doesn't matter. I mean, you would have to have somebody making $3 million on the ice that's taken off. So you can't go Barkov, Reinhart, Verhaeghe, Bennett, Tkachuk, Rodriguez, Lundell, Luostarinen, Marchand. You can't. You don't have the money to do it. Do I have worms eating my eyeball too? Yeah, they're eating. They're in the back of my throat and in my ears. That's where they are. Hey, babe. Thank you, Miss Jaws. Miss Jaws went to the dollar store and got me all my stuff. Got me ice cream and Coke and all sorts of goodies because she's going to go to work and I'm going to go sit in my chair. And that's what my body needs when I get sick is just give me a sugar IV. Trey. Hey, MJ. Hey, MJ. Thank you, bud. How you doing, buddy? Says, happy Sunday, Jaws. Happy February, too. It's cold all over the nation. Pray you guys don't lose power. Sorry to hear you caught Donna's bug. Yeah, it is what it is. I'll be okay. I wish it wasn't my damn throat, though. I'll take an upset stomach or a headache any day over a sore throat. When it burns to swallow, man, it sucks. Somebody's going to make a stupid comment. Yep, I shouldn't have said it that way. Damn it. Drinking the blue. Yeah, Donna feels better. Just her eye is still a little bit funky. Drink honey and milk. Yeah, I've got my almond milk. I don't think I have honey. Honey upsets my stomach something fierce. But I have Himalayan salt. I have big bags of Himalayan salt. So I'll gargle with the salt water. Yeah, that's what I told her, David. We'll get her the eye patch. I says, let's trade Bob, get some assets, and re-sign him in this offseason. Henderson says, I can remember an inspection we had like week 5 of basic We're all in formation in the bay. The DI goes into the latrine, and in unison, at least 7 people let farts rip. Oh, man. At least it means Josh has new alien stuff to flip on eBay. I put the eBay store. We've been clearing out our stuff. I put everything at 65% off to clear out stuff. It's been doing we've been doing okay. Like it's been paying for the groceries, so that helps. DI came back into the bay with a shit-eating, no pun intended, grin on his face. Oh, here we go. She got me Cool Whip ice cream, a bag of Reese's, 2 pieces of chocolate pie. I told Kyle maybe we'll share it with him, and Diet Coke. Dang! Oh my! See now that's a hell of a super chat, Miss Jaws. Thank you, babe. 2 pieces of chocolate pie. Oh God. Oh, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. So, like I said, guys, one way or another, I'll make a community post. If I don't do the game with Kyle, I'll at least still be live on the men's channel. We'll see how I feel. Kazuma says, can't root for the Lightning. I'll take anybody else. Yeah, exactly, Trey. 3,000 grams of sugar chased with a Diet Coke. I don't like the taste of regular Coke. I don't like the taste of regular Coke. I like the Diet Coke for whatever reason. Oh, yeah, no, that's what I asked for. Exactly. Great White said, damn, talk to text, make you look stupid. What'd you say, Great White? What did I miss? What did I miss? Oh, to fix your throat, drink honey and milk. Oh, you're thrust. What's a thrust? Talk to text is wild, man. IEK says trade Mackey for picks. Let's put it this way. Even if I was going to trade Sam Eskevich, which I'm not, but even if I was going to trade Samo, what's the compensation if we lose him as an RFA? This is a legitimate question now. Let's see. How does the NHL decide compensation for an RFA player? What would we get if we let somebody offer sheet him? Let's see. So I see. So it goes by how much they're willing to pay him. So the RFA compensation structure, draft pick compensation. So if the other team offers him 1.5 or less, there's no compensation. 1.5 to 2.3 is a 3rd round pick. 2.3 to 4.6, which is probably what it would take to get him away from us, would be a 2nd round pick. So even if I was going to want to trade him, I wouldn't do it until the offseason. Yeah, exactly. She can't be here, but the chocolate will help. That's for sure. There was a rumor that we're willing to trade Carter too. Boo. Sordiff is doing well. Yeah, how's he doing? I mean, look, I can't even complain about it. As soon as we re-signed Marchand, we blocked Sordiff. Jesus, he's got 25 points in 52 games. He's got 12 goals. He's got a shot percentage of 15.8 right now. Oh, boy. I mean, we knew he was ready. That's a rough one. He might score 20 goals this year. Jeez, man. Meg says, I'm Cats, ride or die. Not sure if I'll root for someone else specifically, but I'll lean to one side over the other depending. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be putting on, I'm not going to be doing recaps like, it's not going to be the same. You know what I mean? Like there will be teams that I want to win and want to lose. Mainly during the playoffs, if it's not the Panthers, mainly what we'll do is Kyle and I will each pick a different team, and then that's how it's fun. We're going to have a bracket challenge also. Spark, the place that we do the trivia through, they're going to have a playoff bracket challenge. So we're going to have that as well. So that will make things a little bit interesting. Rick says the Panthers have a 36% chance to make the playoffs. That sounds about right. Henderson says, I'll root for anyone playing the Canes. Beck says, if we don't make the playoffs, can you imagine how this team is going to come out next year? Screw the Avs this year. We're going to dominate with a healthy team. I mean, they will be rested, right? Trey says, let me play 4L. You need to get some aggression out. When are you moving, Trey? That's the net. When are you moving, bud? Trey says, I was a middle linebacker converted to a 4L winger. Basically, when I stepped onto the ice, my team was playing 4-on-5, but by the end of my shift, we were playing 4-on-2. MJ, yeah, luckily we have a dollar store that's basically next to the post office. Eyes. Yeah, well, I'm way behind on the chat. Hey, Ryan. All right, David, appreciate you, bud. I'm way behind on the chat here. Sorry, guys. You take 3 teaspoons of honey in the morning. Boy, honey makes my stomach feel like it blows me up. Very uncomfortable. That's why they call it almond milk. If they called it nut juice, it wouldn't sell. Yeah, the Reese's peanut butter cups. The new Oreo Reese's will change your life. See you all at 320 pounds. Oh, you got my bacon too, babe? Thank you. Because that's dinner. After I eat the ice cream with the Reese's and the Coke for dinner, I'm going to have a half a pack of bacon and 4 eggs. Yeah, exactly, Great White. Us sharks, we love salt water. That's going to fix it. MJ, yeah, we're shooting. Poor Donna's got to work every night now from 2 to 10. Not every night. But she's working 4 or 5 nights a week, 2 to 10. So it's tough to get one of those lined up. Yeah, so the Panthers are so bad, we're talking about Oreo Reese's. You don't like Coke, you just like the way it smells. And it says, if the Panthers are knocked out, I'll root for either Vegas, the Ducks, or the Stars. Oh, toasted tomato. I can't. I don't like. You almost had me, Eduardo. I do have some green tea I could make, though. I actually do have some tea that I could steep. I can't stand tomatoes. It's the texture. It's not the taste. There you go, MJ. Keep Mackie, por favor. I agree. You got me a 4-cheese pizza since I mentioned I wanted a pizza this morning. Kyle put it in the... Damn, Miss Jaws took care of me. Hardcore, man. Damn. I'm probably going to eat all that shit, too. I knew it yesterday, man. I knew I wasn't feeling good towards the end of the day. You know when I knew I wasn't feeling good? It's last night when, let's just say, Donna offered to have activities, and I was like, I'm I just come lay in your lap and fall asleep. That's when I should have known I was getting sick. I was like, I just want to lay down instead. She has a recliner that leans all the way back, and I just lay down, zonk out. I also might have had one too many hits. Hey, Rosado. Guys talking pizza. Let's see. David says, I know it's mostly troll, but we're not trading anybody. They signed for less to stay. Just suck it up and write it out. I agree. I don't want to trade Mackey either. Hey, Deuce. At this point, there's no reason to trade anybody. Like, just roll with what we got and then sort through the carnage over the summer. I mean, we do have too many players. To go into next season, we are going to have to make some kind of moves, because just assuming Barkov, Reinhart, Verhaeghe, Bennett, Kachuk, we'll just put Samoskevich there for now. Lundell, Lusterine, Marchand, and Schwint with Gadjevich and Greer. There's no Boquist. There's no Vilmanis. There's no Rodriguez, right? So already you're going to need changes. I assume that Boquist won't be back. I hate to lose Rodriguez. Is Samuel going to be given that shot next to Benedict Kachuk? It might go to Vilmanis. I got to scroll down to the bottom here because I'm way, way behind. Holy crap. Hey, thank you, MJ. Thank you, bud. Thank you, MJ. He says, so Trey's leaving this spring. We got to do a best of trade tribute before he heads to Asia. He's had so many memorable quotes. Who remembers when Trey said, this is how people are born? Well, Trey will still be here, though. He'll still be here, though. Rosado, what were you saying? Yeah, activities. Yeah. You're getting a Disneyland in Thailand. Hey. All right, Henderson. Eyes. We'll see. We'll see how I feel later. I hate to take days off. I'm not good at it. Yeah, he's not leaving the planet though, right? Hey, Frank. Nah, we ain't flipping nobody. I don't think so. You submitted the paperwork for your visa March 1st, and then it'll go wherever they approve, which is usually 2 to 3 weeks. So basically around April. Gotcha. Deuce, yeah, I get what you're saying about hope. I get it. What did MJ? Oh, you said oh, it was game 4 the Eastern Conference Finals. I see. That's right. Yeah. And then when we won, he said that's how babies were born. Right. Oh yeah, Donna got a real job and never door dashed. Yeah. We got to get Donna a day job. That's really the thing. We got to get Donna a day job. Oh, yeah, I think they got him in Florida, right? They got Royal Farms in Florida, right? MJ, you got a good memory, man. Between you and Kyle, you probably never forget anything. Eyes. What job would Donna be good at? Oh, let's see. That's a good question for her. That's really a genuinely good question. I think at this point, she's wanting something that she could sit down. MJ, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Nah, babe, you wouldn't want to be a nurse. Worm eye inspector, David. Eye worm inspector. You wouldn't want to do the nurse thing. And besides, babe, did you really say that? Babe didn't she didn't really just say that, did you, babe? You remember that Karen was a nurse, right, babe? What? No nurses. No nurses, Miss Jaws. Patel, no. No, she doesn't have medical training. No. What happens when Jaws draws the wild card? I think Donna forgot that Karen was a nurse. So it says this has got to be the worst team of all time to insert rookies into. It's kind of rough. Vilmanis has looked really good, though. That guy, to me, he's going to be at least another Luosterainen for sure. Hey, thank you, Great White. Thank you, bud. He says, I want to get this in before you go. Yeah, go on the pizza bench. Thank you, Great White. Appreciate you, man. Oh, yeah, that food's getting et. That food is getting et up. So Frank has been drinking. He says, trade Mikla for a first. Trade Mackey to Chicago for our first. Trade Erod to a contender for a second. Then flip the picks for Logan Stanley or Kevin Bayhall, sign Murphy and Coyle as UFAs. See, I understand what you're saying. If this team was healthy and playing like this, something like that might happen. Now, trading Mackey for our first would mean we traded Mackey and Spencer Knight for Seth Jones. Yeesh. Don't know about that. Miss Jaws. Do I ever listen to Bublé? No. No. If you're talking about Michael Bublé, not my tempo. It's not my tempo. Yeah, Miss Jaws would be good at something where she can just kind of sit there and be left the hell alone. Yeah, that's the job for her. Phil says you can WFH like me working in the health insurance as your side gig, market research. Huh. Craig says not all nurses are nuts. Nah. I don't know. Silva says next year, Barkov, Reinhardt for Hagee, Bennett with Chucky Vilmanis, Mouthwash, Lundell Marshy, Schwint with Samo and Greer. I mean, I can't really necessarily disagree with that, right? I mean, you do have to start inserting some of the younger players. Yeah, she's good at paperwork and details. Oh, I'm going to end up in a food coma, that's for sure. There will be no activities. Hey, thank you, MJ. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, MJ. He says, we're talking jobs. Which job in the Panthers organization would I be interested in trying? Not even a small question for me. Video coach. I want all the film. Give me the damn film, and I will tell you every damn thing that you did wrong. I will tell you if you breathed improperly. That would be my dream job. Getting to watch hockey and have it be my job to bitch about what somebody did wrong. I guess I'll throw in something that they did good every once in a while. But that would be my dream job. Pay me to watch video and tell you what's wrong with it. I wouldn't need to sleep. I would never need to sleep. Eyes, right? Locker room manager. I'm not sure. Frank says blasting Hall & Oates Out of Time right now in your office. Good song. Good choice. Good choice. I says I had a nurse once who was nuts, made the most poorly timed jokes. The glove warmer guy, Deuce. No, yeah, out of touch. I know what you were saying, Frank. It's all the same thing. Silva says, I was the number one Samuel supporter, but he's really played himself out of a legitimate role on this team. Well, let's put it this way. I don't want to give up on him just yet. There's no reason to. There's no reason to give up on him just yet. You know what I mean? Unless you're worried about actual roster slots next year. Vilmanis has shown for sure, in my opinion. But it's not like Samuel sucked last year, right? So I'm willing to give him another year. What's the difference? If he doesn't pan out, you trade him for a 2 instead of a 1. We've invested so much time in him. MJ, yeah, video coach. Yeah. Patel says, my supervisor is hilarious. He's like, you have to work 4 hours overtime each week, Tuesday to Saturday. If you work on Monday, you'll get overtime, but not count for the 4 hours. If you work at 1 a.m., that's fine. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Jeez. All right, David. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, Donna's job is to go pick up Dairy Queen for the guys. Deuce says, the only thing I see is Samuel doing is skating fast and then giving the puck away. He does draw some penalties. In his defense, I wish there was, is there a stat? And do they keep track of penalties drawn? That's what I want to see. They're on NHL.com under skater stats penalties. Oh, let's see. Penalties. All right. Okay. Penalties drawn. So this is 23-24. No, I want this year. Oh, they don't have the stats for this year? What the hell? Here we go. 25-26. Well, that can't be right. No, that's from then to then. I see. All right, let me see. Penalties drawn so far this season. Leading the league is Connor McDavid at 32 penalties drawn. Celebrini is at 30. Who's first on the Panthers? Marchand is drawn 24. He's at 7 in the league. Mackie Samoskevich is at number 11 in the league with 23 penalties drawn. AJ Greer is at 24 penalties. So the Panthers have 3 guys in the top 11, with Marchand being 7th in the league with 24 penalties drawn. And then, like I said, Greer and then Samoskevich is at number 11 in the NHL with penalties drawn. The next closest for Florida is Evan Rodriguez. So he does at least do that. I knew he'd drawn a lot. That's at least a decent number. Jaws, his video coach. You see this shit? Don't do that. So it says, unless he can put on some pounds and work on the giveaways, he doesn't fit in Florida. Should have traded him instead of Sordiff. But remember, it's tough, right? Because he had the 15 goals last year. So he looked like, like he was going to fit. Rosado would be the commentator, either radio or TV. Why does Miss Jaws look like she could play the violin and play it well? I'm not sure what that means, Great White. Yeah, Deuce. I still don't want to give up about him. Did I tell her about the Hall & Oates concert in '88? Probably. Has any team won the cup and missed the playoffs the following year? It's a good question. Let me see. I'm sure it's happened. I'm sure it's happened. Yes. So the 95 Devils missed the playoffs after winning their cup in 95. That's the most recent one, I guess. Toronto did it way back then. It's happened a couple of times, yeah. MJ, yeah, there's a ton of people behind the scenes, no doubt. All right, babe, I'll be done in a minute. To say goodbye. Deuce, yeah, the Samo and the penalties. I mean, at least he's doing that, right? Would I pick Devine over Samoskevich? No. It's interesting to see the same problem with them, though. When Devine has been up, he looks like he's got some talent, but he loses the puck too much. He gets pushed off the puck too much. Rosado says Vilmus really had one really good shift last night where the puck was pinned up against the wall and he took it from the Jets like 3 times. Yeah, Vilmus and Luosterainen, those gotta keep them. Oh, Eyes, you remember George saying that? Gotcha. Hey, David. Yeah, socially awkward. That's a good way to put it. Oh, MJ says the Kings won the cup in 2014, didn't make the 15. There's a good one. Yeah. Hey, we next. Wouldn't it be nice? Yeah, of all the cup hats, this is my favorite one. I like the way it fits. Fun fact, says the Florida Marlins had the worst record of the year after winning it all in the season after World Series. Yeah, fire sale. Absolutely. All right, guys. I'm going to roll. My voice is giving out on me. I want to go give Donna some love before she leaves the house. I'm going to be live tonight. I will create a post. Whether or not I'm going to be here on this channel, the men's channel, I'll let you guys know. Oh, God, Patel. Yeah, 54 and 108. Jeez. It was so awful. They just got rid of everybody. And, they're announcing the team. You're Florida. That was the Florida Marlins. Yeah, you're World Series champ, Florida Marlins. And it wasn't even any of the guys left. It was just stupid. So, all right, guys. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all very much for all the super chats and all of that. I'm going to go have ice cream and pizza and Reese's, and I'll have a community post out. Yeah, Great White. Yeah, I don't have to worry about that right now. That's for sure. So I'll let you guys know which channel. I'll be live at some point tonight, and then we'll just we'll have a smoke and a pancake. All right, everybody. Appreciate y'all. Thank you all again, and I'll see you a little bit later on tonight.